Welcome back to Dead Good Book Reviews and another reading vlog. Welcome to reading vlog number 2. I'm very excited. I hope you are as well. I'm excited for a more structured week than last week. I'm not going to say a better week than last week. Last week was perfectly fine, but just a bit more structure. It is first thing Monday morning, which is why I've made the decision to put on lipstick this morning, which will either mean a wonderful, powerful, empowered day, or a day where I answer every single Zoom call with, yes, I am wearing lipstick, thank you so much. Who knows? We shall find out. I have finished 2 books since the end of the last vlog, and then I will talk to you about what I'm planning on reading this week, and then we will go through the week as ever. It's a reading vlog. That's how they work. So I first up finished The Traitor, Barry Cormorant by Seth Dickinson. This was good. It was intense. It's a long book. It looks very slim, but it's really, really dense. Side note, very, very nice paper. It's a print-on-demand one, I think, based on information within the cover. And they've printed it on very nice paper. And I know that's nothing to do with the book at all, but there's something very satisfying about reading nice paper, reading a book printed on nice paper. You know what I mean. I've talked about this a bunch, but it's a big fantasy where we have a young girl who is part of a world that is gradually being taken over by the Masquerade, which is basically like the evil empire. And she decides quite early on in the book that her way of countering this is going to be to find out how power works and kind of take them down from within. And so this first book is her first placement as the Imperial Accountant. So where some books would be war strategy in terms of like where are we putting all of our soldiers, or you know, politics in terms of like I'm talking to General Hoody-Doo and they're doing the thing. This is more about economics, which is really interesting. I have a broad understanding of economics. I wouldn't say I know much about it. The very little economics that I did at university was based on ancient economics, so applies a little bit more in this case, but broadly speaking I just kind of took it very loosely and answered any question in the exam that wasn't to do with that. So I wouldn't say you need an economic knowledge to get along with this book. I get along with it perfectly fine. I think because I like the character stuff a bit more, but it is one of those books where you just have a really smart main character, and I always find that good. I like an intelligent protagonist. Or is she the protagonist? Ooh. I am planning on reading the second one in hopefully February. I'd like to read them kind of back to back because I would like to read the third one soon. And that's how that works. Yesterday I picked up To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers. This is her novella in the Wayfarer series. I do have Record of a Spaceborne Few and The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet on my TBR, as was this. So I am gradually, having reread the whole series, that wasn't tenses, I am gradually rereading the whole series in something of an order. I think this was the only book of the entire series that I hadn't reread, so it was nice to finally do that, and it's really, really lovely. I liked it even more. I hadn't registered that this is in first person. The rest of them I don't think are, and I think that makes it extra special, and it's just a nice sort of exploration of planets and being really far away from home and finding home anyway, and having no impact on the worlds that you land on. It's just really lovely, a look at people in space. And if you haven't read it, I would definitely recommend. On to my reading plans for the week. I want to finish 4 books. That's all I'm setting myself up for. It's a new job. It's a new job, it's a new day. So I have 4. One is Animorphs 14. If nothing else gets done this week, Animorphs 14 must get done. Come hell or high water, Animorphs 14 is being read because that video needs to go up. On top of that, I have Riot Baby, another novella. I want to succeed, so I'm giving myself short books. Shh, it's fine. Because then I also have A Memory Called Empire, which, if you'll remember, is fairly intense. It's not super long, it's just a lot to take in. So that will be fine. This will be my 3rd time reading this, so I'm thinking it shouldn't be too taxing. I'm looking forward to picking that up again. I'm not going to go into these in any detail, so reading vlog. And then Sister Song, because it was a hangover from my December TBR, and I will be sad if I do not finish it. Ding! Worth saying at this point that I did read 2 books of my January TBR early, so I have got 2 books that I could bring in. I think I'm just going to see how I go with review copies. I do have one that came in. This was sent to work and then obviously got caught up in the Christmas post, but this is Winter's Orbit. I didn't request this as an unsolicited book post, but it's Ancillary Justice meets Gideon the Ninth, and I have a feeling this is LGBT plus fantasy. Not fantasy, the other one. Science fiction, come on brain, Monday mornings. So maybe I will pick that up this month instead, or as well as other things. I don't know yet. That's for future Judith to decide. But that is out in February, so I ought to read it soon if I'm going to read it. Great, well, I'm going to get on with my first day of my new job. I will see you next time.
Hi, sorry for the audio quality. It's unboxing time. None of this is books. I did get an approval on NetGalley. By the way, it's Tuesday. I got an approval on NetGalley. It's Witherwood. Let's put the cover up. Now you know what else is on my TBR. That's in February, so get to that soon. No, I have four things. 3 of them are fabric. One of them is a sewing pattern that I'm very excited to sew. I'm not actually making a truly Victorian 1860s work dress. I am using the pattern. I will link the video below, but basically Sosteen did a really cool video where she made a really cool dress, and I want 15 billion of them. And I had some money put aside for sewing projects, so I'm going to try and do it. To do that, you need fabric. So I have ordered four kinds of fabric. 3 of them have arrived, because 3 of them were from the same place. One of them is just this big old hunk of muslin for doing mock-ups, and then I have 2 gorgeous checked cottons. This one is like a creamy colour. I have absolutely no idea how these are going to look on me, but I think I'm going to probably do aprons to go over them. It'll be cute. So it's like brown with blue. And then this is my favourite. This is just like, something about it says teddy bear to me, and I really, really like it. And yes, I am making incredibly autumnal things in January, but I'm okay with it because I'm not going anywhere. I then also, the other fabric that will hopefully arrive at some point is just grey linen. So if you were wondering what my first sewing project of the year is, that's what that is. Reading wise, I haven't really got much to report. I have started a memory called Empire, but honestly I've been so manically busy. No reading has happened. My brain has not been in gear. Oh, I got another book in the post. That's more interesting than hearing me talk about how I haven't read anything. American Hippo arrived. This was actually in my like Christmas, December book haul kind of thing, but it hadn't arrived until now. It's 2 novellas bound together, I believe. American Hippo and, River of Teeth and Taste of Marrow. 2 action-packed novellas that introduce the readers to an alternate America in which hippos rule the colossal swamp that was once the Mississippi River. I think it'll be good. I really like Sarah Gailey's writing. I think they write cool stuff. I'm excited to read this. I do think I have Silver in the Wood and The Drowned Country coming today as well, but they haven't got here yet, and they won't be here before I vlog next. I don't think I will vlog again unless there is something interesting to say until I've finished A Memory Called Empire. So if I don't finish that, this is a very short vlog.
Hello! It is Friday. Yeah, I'm coming to you first thing in the morning because I realised that I was not vlogging this week. And if I wanted to, I was going to need to do it the moment it came to mind. So hi, hello, it's Friday. Also part of the reason I've been sewing. This is not going to look like anything to you, but I'm making a mock-up. Look, it's got dots. It's going pretty well. I think I'm nearly at the stage where I need to figure out the collar, which is always fun. But that's in my brain and on my list. Also, I didn't want to vlog because I hadn't read anything as a result, but I have actually, thinking about it, I have finished 3 books. So there we go. So first I finished Animorphs 14. It had horses in it. It was pretty good. There'll be a video coming out either next week or the week after, depending on my schedule. And I finished the audiobook of Fool's Fate, the 3rd book in the 20-man series, and I really enjoyed it. Still not a 5-star. Haven't had a 5-star since Blood of Dragons. Mainly I think because I don't love Fitz as a main character as much as I probably should to love the books as much. So his motivations and his endings, I'm kind of like, I don't mind if you get what you want or if you don't. I care about insert every other side character here. On to the next book in that kind of bigger series, I guess. I haven't looked up what that is yet. I will let you know when I started. Then yesterday, because it was one of those situations where I couldn't get past the first 20 pages, but I did finish A Memory Called Empire. I just sort of sat down. In fact, I got in the bath, and then when I got out of the bath, I put my phone elsewhere. Those reading tips, they come in handy, and I got to reading, and I did finish it, and I did really enjoy it. 3rd time reading it, oh goodness, I still think the ending gets a tiny bit muddled. It's very, very fast-paced towards the end, so do the opposite of what my instinct is to do, which is to speed up towards the end, because normally you're most familiar with the characters and what's going on towards the end, you can speed up your reading. In this case, slow it down. Just interesting. And what I will keep in mind next month when I pick up A Desolation Called Peace. which I'm very excited for again. It's such a good book though. So the dedication in the book is to... This book is dedicated to anyone who has ever fallen in love with a culture that was devouring their own. And that's what the book is about, basically, alongside a lot of other political stuff. The bit that really struck me, and if you watch this vlog and then you watch my review in however many months, we'll talk about it then. But there's a moment where the main character, is talking about the postal system in this world, and they basically put all the information, which is all digital, onto these physical sticks that then you have to seal with wax and get posted. And in the text of the book, you read her thinking about it, and it's, it's ridiculous. This is I'd find the quote if I could, but, this is a piece of digital technology that requires this beautiful casing in some cases, and it requires sealing and being a physical object. And that bit's said with such disdain, and then the next bit, almost even with more disdain, is like, but my heat loved it. And it's this idea of she's fully aware that this is a civilization that would eat hers up entirely and does not care about her own, but she also loves it. And it's a really interesting dynamic in the book, and I think you really get an interesting perspective out of it. That's everything that I've read. I have 2 more books that I want to get read this week, but if I don't manage both of them, I'm not going to be upset with myself. I have Riot Baby and I have Sister Song. I think I'm going to start with Riot Baby because I want an easier win. I don't actually think Riot Baby is going to be an easy read in terms of subject matter, but I think it will be at least a speedy read, so that's nice. New job is going well. It is so tiring because I am effectively doing 2 jobs at the moment. Well, 1.5. I'm handing over half of my old job, so it's just a lot of new information to put in my brain while still having to keep all the old information at the surface ready to be bestowed. But I really love the person I'm handing over to. I really love. I'm really enjoying the new work. I've got some exciting things. I've got to do some creative writing, which feeds my soul. See how we go today, and I will let you know tomorrow. I apologise for the 2-day gap. What can you do? The shirt is back. Oh, and a little bit scandalous. Much better. Hi, it is Saturday morning. I'm having one of those moments where I want to do 50 billion things and I need to work out which of those things I actually need to do. So I want to go for a run today. I want to keep sewing, and I also have some videos that need filming. I don't know if it can all fit into one day, but I'm trying to prioritise. So the first thing that absolutely 1000% needs to get done today is you have to close out the vlog and do all of the editing for it. Hooray! Let me update you on what I've been doing. I did finish a book. I finished Riot Baby. And then, I then coincidentally was watching Justine's December wrap-up, I think. And she read it in December, so that was nice to hear her thoughts on it. Just because it's nice when your friends read your books, or read books that you have read. I didn't write this. You know what I mean? I haven't had coffee yet. I should probably disclaim that. This is pre-coffee Judith. I thought it was really good novella, a really interesting look at the Black experience. It's through a somewhat speculative lens. How to describe? It's one of those books where you could take out one element and it would be less speculative, but that element is quite important, so it's still sort of sci-fi-esque. But I thought it was really, really good, a really informative in terms of like the emotion, I think. Read. It's not like facts and figures and things, but informative as a white reader. I'd be really interested to read some Own Voices reviews of this, particularly of those based in America, especially after the last year. I think this would be a very different reading experience from that perspective, but I'd be interested to hear. So I may have to go seek some of those out. So yes, that has been read. I did not pick up Sister Song because instead, because you know me, I started sewing. I am not very far through, and it's going to look like absolutely nothing to you, but this is in fact the back of a bodice. I'm very wrinkly because it's linen and I hate myself. There's a front as well. It's got darts in it. It's very exciting. Today, if I do some sewing, it will be working on sleeves. Bishop sleeves. I'm excited. And collars. And a third thing that will come to me. The skirt's kind of the next bit after that. So I'm going to have Sister Song on deck for the weekend. I will probably read it tomorrow, if I read it at all. It might skim over to next week. That's fine. We're not in a hurry in life. But I also need to film a couple of reviews, I think, and possibly Animorphs. I need to basically check when things are coming out and see if I can push them till tomorrow. But I also want to go for a run. Oh, the life of a busy woman in lockdown with too many hobbies. But it has been a very good reading week. I have enjoyed the things that I have read. Animorphs is always fun to get into a week, so that's good. Memory Called Empire, that was another thing I read. And that was very good, a nice reread. Fool's Fate, there you go. Finished my audiobook, so that's nice as well. I've also been planning my February reading, and there's a lot to get done in February, so trying to psych myself up for that as well. Overall, a pretty good reading week. Could be better, could be much worse. Looking forward to next week, where hopefully work will be a bit less stressful, because first week handover stress will be gone, maybe? I don't know. How has your week been? I would like to know what you've been up to, what you've been reading. You can put that in the comments below while you're commenting. If you haven't already, you can follow me on my social media. That's linked below. You can subscribe. It makes me feel loved and appreciated. I think that's all from me. Yes, I will see you in the next one. There's gonna be some bloopers now. Welcome back to Dead Good. I haven't got my teeth in yet. And that is the one that I, if nothing else gets done this week, Aminorphs.